Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, no matter where in the world you are joining us from. You have reached your destination known as Busting Out. This is the Bus Station, and we are your conductors, the Brunch Busters. I am Bobby Munson, the man beside me, my Brunch Buster brother, Chris Parrish. How are you doing today?
The conductors of the bust. I kind of like that. I'm doing well, though. How are you doing?
That'd make a good shirt right there. I'm pretty sure of that. I'm doing fantastic. Looking forward to talking about some professional wrestling here, going off the rails, having fun as always, and getting excited because, of course, the first ever Busting Out Awards are coming up very, very soon. Those Golden Busters, they're looking fancy. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, and you know what's also looking fancy? RogueEnergy.com.
Yeah.
It's pretty fancy. When you go to RogueEnergy.com, you can get a plethora of flavors. They're all back in stock right now, except for Ed's watermelon that may or may not exist. But yeah,
Ed's bought them all out of the watermelon flavor.
Yeah, they're so out of stock that they're backed up for days. But that's not a word. Because they got a lot of other stuff, and you can go there, you can buy shakers. They even have a shaker special going on. You can even get a free shaker if you use that code, but we're not going to tell you that code because we want you to use our code because we also need to make money to pay bills. And you can use our promo code OLEPOD, save yourself 10% off whenever you finish that checkout and you want to pay. But just know the 10% off, it saves you some pay. Free shaker might get you some free stuff, but we save you money.
Yeah. So we got friends in the chat today because
we do.
We love having. We love having a good, friendly conversation, a Sunday afternoon conversation with wonderful, wonderful people such as our good friend Bobby Petito. How are you doing, Bobby? Good to see you here on Busted Out. We got. Hold on, let's see if I can do this right. Vassar coming in with hello, ladies.
Choppy, pee-pee.
Of course, we also have the voice, Joshua Joseph, JJ coming up in the house here. Check out Josh's show, A Moment with Joshua Joseph, as well as many of the other projects that he's working on, commentator, working on different various podcasts, and of course, a great support of us here at our local establishment, a very good friend of ours. Make sure everybody here in the chat get to know one another, network, let people know about the shows that you got going on here as well, too. We're all about that networking and community type thing.
Yeah, we're not like those lamers over there on other stream services that be like, oh, we just want you to focus on us. Now we want to know about you. We want to know where we can find you. We want to know if you have anything going on because we want to be able to raid there when our show's done. We want to be able to support you. We're all a community here. We're a big family here. And over here at the bus station, everyone can ride the train to Busville. Yeah.
Bustville now, dude.
Busville. We have a city now. Hey man, it's 52 episodes in. If we're not expanding, we're not busting the right way.
That's a true statement right there.
Yeah. Bobby coming in and saying Deonna Purrazzo and Gisele Shaw are getting an opportunity to wrestle Giulia.
It's Giulia. I got Giulia.
There we go. I got that in there.
It's gonna be Giulia. That's funny. Why is that funny? I don't know.
It was off an Adam Sandler movie.
No, I know it was on the Big Singer, man. I'm just doing this.
Yeah, no. Okay. I haven't seen that movie in a while. I just remember that one.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, for the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Women's Championship. And Giulia's from Stardom.
Yeah. I found this out I believe Ed made a comment in one of the shows that I was on. It would have been, I think, even maybe one of the AEW review shows. And I said the same thing. I'm like, who's Giulia? And I got the lesson right there on the spot. No, Giulia. I'm like, oh, okay. Giulia. Okay, I got it. I
legit was setting up to say Giulia.
But it is, it's Giulia. It's spelled that way. That's the way to pronounce that.
It's a soft G. No.
Soft G.
But yeah, no, I still don't know why people use a G for a J. It's weird. But yeah, no, I mean, that's awesome. I've been checking out a little bit of stuff from Stardom lately. It's really nice too, especially when you're seeing maybe not as much female wrestling going on other shows right now. It's a nice little change of pace. So if I know anything between Deonna Purrazzo and my friend Gisele Shaw, they're just going to kill it. Yeah, I mean, both people I'd like to see back in the company that I like to watch, WWE, but at the same time, I kind of want to see them wrestle. So,
well, you don't want them to be in name only?
I mean, to be fair, I think Chelsea Green is doing a great job right now. So like, it's not like everyone's doing a bad thing. I just want to see more matches. Like,
well, you'd think with that much television, you should be able to fit, one or two more in there.
Well, like, okay, so like one of my gripes on Raw was, okay, yeah, there was only one women's match. Yeah, okay, you can easily have a second, maybe a third. But I mean, like, in at least their fairness, there were a lot of female segments throughout the show. So there's a lot of like storyline building. So at least there's that. It's better to have at least that than nothing at all. So at least when it came down to airtime, you saw the women quite a lot, but like I'd still like more than one match per show. So I mean, that was like, I don't know. Maybe that's just like my internet gripe would be like, I want more. Give me more. I deserve more. Fuck you. Give me. I don't know. You're going to clip that, aren't you?
Oh, I might. That's like 11 minutes, 30 seconds.
Of course, I had to do that damn hand signal, too.
That's right, yeah. Your hand was dancing.
Well, it was more like a beak. But, yeah, it is what it is. But, yeah, no, Bobby, I know MLW has the Fury Road coming pretty soon.
They do.
You want to just talk a little bit about that a little bit more, because I know I wasn't really seeing a lot of news about it, but a lot of just information. So like you're doing a watch along, I believe, right?
You bet. Yeah. So that's going to be, I believe it actually takes place at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So yeah. So if you're on the East Coast, 6 p.m. Eastern time, we will be doing our tailgate watch along party for MLW's Fury Road on Sunday, September the 3rd. So you're going to want to be following along here at our local establishment. Make sure that you get in on the conversation as you're watching MLW's Fury Road with myself, Pop Smokes, Parrish. If you're free, of course, you're always welcome, as anybody in OLE will be welcome to join us for this particular watch along as always. There is so far, I believe, 4 announced matches on the card this year, and I'm just going to bring that up for you guys here real quickly so we can run through that. Actually, yeah, okay, so a little bit has been added. It looks like, okay, these will be for the taping. So let me just get this out of the way. For the taping side of it, for Fusion, they are going to have Akira, who is the middleweight champion, taking on Jimmy Lloyd. And Lil Guido is taking on Love Doug. I believe that's Love Doug's debut for MLW. If I'm not mistaken, Bobby can correct me on that. He'll know for sure. We got Kim Blackwood making his MLW debut. His opponent has not yet been announced, and I believe that one might be on the actual main show on Fury Road itself. We got Matt Cardona with Mr. St. Laurent and his corner taking on Mance Warner in the No Holds Barred Kiss My Foot match. We got Becca taking on Maki Ito, and that will determine the number 1 contender for the MLW Featherweight Championship. Tracy Williams taking on Ichiban, and then you've got Alex Kane, the leader of the Bomaye Fight Club, friend of the channel, and he's going to be going out there to take on Willie Mack for defending the very first time his MLW Championship. It's going to be a lot of fun. We hope that you guys will be joining along with us and getting your questions in. And I mean, you never know what shenanigans will get up to. The conversation on Thursday night became, what will Papa Smokes be munching on during this tailgate party in particular? And he's going to get his gourmet chef buddy to whip up something interesting here to spice up the channel. Talking about
food, people.
Of course, we're talking about food. It's a tailgate party. Tailgate.
Don't clean your gutters and then keep your head out of them, please. We appreciate that. That's like, I mean, rule number 1, your head can be in the gutters on the train, but when you're at the station, at least be out of them.
Best behavior.
Yeah.
Only clean stuff on this show.
Well, it's not the best behavior. It's their best behavior. Right?
Best behavior.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure I'm available. And we got somebody who's available right now. We got Astrid.
Hello, Astrid.
Hello.
How are you? Good to see you joining us at Bustin' Out.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I could no, we'll save it for a breaking news later. Don't worry about it. No.
Okay.
No, we're good.
You can work on all that stuff.
We got it. Yeah.
But we got kind of a smaller topic board, but at the same time, that just means we got a lot of more openness to just freeball the conversation.
Opportunity.
But the one thing we want to just flat out get out of the way, because it's the most obvious, it's the most glaring. If you watch SmackDown, you saw Jey Uso quitting the WWE. What does that mean? What does that mean within the Bloodline story? But if you happen to watch it, I mean, I thought it was done really well. I thought it was very interesting. And I thought it was really curious to look at. I think you can go a lot of different ways here. I'm also told that no member of the Bloodline is expected on SmackDown this coming Friday, which means there's going to be a gigantic opportunity for other people on the show to take control of the show, which I'm actually looking forward to the most. But staying on topic, I thought it was really cool to see something unexpected here that maybe sounded stupid right away, but if you watch it, it kind of made things a little interesting.
Yeah. Speaking of making things interesting, look who's up in the house. It's Barry Monkey. And now really putting the gears to me saying that it better be good breaking. It is a fantastic breaking news. It's so good, Barry. You're going to thank me for it.
Yeah, but just wait. We'll get there. Yeah. You don't have to bleed, but you can just wait.
And I dare call Barry Monkey a good friend because I got the gears the other day or just recently from Barry about everybody being my good friend when they come in the chat, even though I believe they are personally. I mean, I would call them that, but Barry thinks that I should tell someone to just, to saw it off sometime when they come into the chat. Still waiting for the opportunity, somebody to really grind my gears and make me go that stuff.
That'd just be really funny. It's like, oh, we got like random guy. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. How did you find us? Don't care. Go away.
Yeah.
Not gonna subscribe.
Yeah, you know why? You ever hear the term opportunities knocking? Yeah, they're at the other place. They don't like you. Leave now.
I got an opportunity for you. It starts with Duck 2.
Don't steal my spots now.
Well, with that being said,
yeah, that's a quacker. But yeah, no, Jey Uso quitting the WWE. Bobby, this is where in the chat I wanted you to throw up a random, this match is happening to keep us back on track.
yeah, do something. Jey Uso quits WWE, and by quitting WWE, he quit on screen, and he'll be back on a show within no time at all. We all know this is not legitimate quitting by any means. Let's not kid ourselves.
Although he is moved to the alumni section there, Bobby.
Of course.
Come on now.
They're smart. They're thinking ahead of us now. If we put it on the website, you won't catch us.
The good old-fashioned search engine that is WWE.com.
Yeah. And what are we going to get? Jey Uso NXT. Jey Uso comes back and reforms a brand new NWO.
The Uso World Order.
The Uso World Order.
I mean, the Deuces Ooses needs to be a shirt. He did say that when he left. He just threw out the peace sign and go Deuces Ooses, and you're like, okay, that has to be a shirt. But one of the interesting things I thought was in that segment, obviously you saw Jimmy come out first. He came out to no music, just booze, which is like, okay, cool. I like that. There's like that aura about it, right? But then Jey comes out back in the Usos music, and I'm just like, okay, if they're going to roll with the Usos as separate, which is fine by me, I think they need to drop the Usos theme song for whenever they just tag, not anything else. Perry Monkey. Throw it up, why not?
I like it. So Jey Uso will have a shave and come back as Ezekiel's adopted twin brother.
The Samoan twin.
The Samoan twin. They could do a whole like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito twins situation.
You ever see the thing where there is like, it was a clean shave and like older pickup LA Knight and then like a picture of Ezekiel, and like you've never seen the two of these people in the same place.
We're on to you.
There we go.
Oh, Love Doug did have a match of the Fusion tapings on July 8th. Okay. I wasn't too sure, but yeah, okay. So Love Doug will have a second opportunity then at the next set of tapings. And we'll see how that goes. I still haven't watched anything from Love Doug other than apparently Love Doug is absolutely obsessed with Becca, but who couldn't be after that Hot Summer Fun song hit the airwaves?
Can only imagine what the next single is going to be, right?
Well, I mean, wouldn't it be like fall season there? So
I hope it has something to do with
falling for fall. You know,
it has to be something about winter's coming. Because come on now,
winter is coming. Just with like an 8-bit version of like the Game of Thrones theme going on in the background.
As long as we don't get any like crazy innuendos with like snow falling down on people. Like nothing kind of like that. Like I don't want to steer people in the wrong direction.
She's just gonna have Blue Cane as her backup dancer on it.
Oh my god. Can you imagine if Blue Cane just goes in and starts doing like the Disco Inferno, like, or like the Alex Wright, or even the Fandango? Oh, now there's a swerve. What happens if Blue Cane's really Dango? That would be hilarious.
I don't know. Did you see Blue Cane? I'm pretty sure that's not Dango or
yeah.
Cane outfit. Sorry, Blue Cane, but Blue Cane's a little bit more sizable than what Dango is, I believe.
Hey man, just go back in the 80s and chew up those special pills that they used to have. You can get there.
Those special pills.
Special pills. Not that we condone that type of behavior, but I'm just saying in the 80s they did.
Hey brother, they used to tell you to take your vitamins in the 1980s.
Although this week did see one of the best, I think it was this week, where it's like, Adam Cole, if you're so, what was it? You're so skinny and white that if you were in the 80s, Hulk Hogan would have snorted you. That was like one of the greatest burns MJF's.
Bobby wants to know what Canadian wrestlers we would like to see wrestle at Stardom.
TFA, I think, would be a great one. The one thing I like about her is just she's different.
Yeah.
And like, especially if you take her away from the clandestine society, she has that personality. She has that adaptation to like get there. Another one I'd like to see is Ava Lawless. I think she has just an amazing amount of potential. But Liza Hull, Bambi Hull, I mean, they're all like, Kat Von He's like, they're my girls, so I can't. I'm never gonna not include that.
And likewise, I mean, even like from the work rate and stuff I know from all of them, that would be the names that I would go with as well too. I mean, it's without a doubt they would be good fits, easily. But yeah, they would fit in well pretty much anywhere by that definition.
Yeah. Who do you like to see, Bobby? Like, who do you like to see from out of the Canadian girls? Let us know in the chat. But yeah, no, I mean, going back to this bloodline thing, like it's kind of interesting because it always seems like they do know where they want to go. They always have something in the chamber there. So it's always interesting to me now to see where that is. I do think it's growing. It's about to grow thin. At some point, you just want to see a conclusion to this whole thing. But I'm wondering if this is priming to go to a big blow off, whether it's maybe Survivor Series, maybe we are going to get the Civil War games, which I would love to see.
Civil War games.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thought.
I'm just putting it out there. I thought of it. But they're announcing the Roman and Jey match as Civil War, right? So, or the tag match, sorry, as Civil War. So beef it up and make it Civil War games. But I don't know. Like, it's one of those things where, like, is this where we see maybe The Rock come into play? Like, does The Rock have to be a part of the Bloodline storyline? Does Rikishi, who on his social media said that he was apparently refereeing a match at Payback, like, whoops, dude. And Sting's word, the K-Fab, brother, the K-Fab. But I don't know. At some point, I think that's what we all kind of want to see, is what's going to be that eventual end to the bloodline. Am I wrong there?
I think we predicted it 100 times over that. Who knows? Like, who really knows at this point? They could keep this thing rolling for a while if they really wanted to. But I like I've said before, it feels like they've kind of run dry on some of the ideas. Every once in a while, something creeps through that's like, okay, this works. But overall, it's starting to get to that point where people are going to start turning sour on the bloodline storyline. So I think sooner rather than later, you're going to need to pull the trigger and change directions.
Are they able to keep this going to WrestleMania 40?
I think they'd be holding on by a thin thread at that point. I think that they will do it, but I think they're going to be treading lightly because it's getting to that point, very much so.
Now, I have a suggestion that there's part of me that really thinks that Uso splitting is a gigantic mind game, but at the same time, I know they both want to match with each other at some point too. They've been very open about saying, like, they've never pitched it, but they do want that, and potentially their dad as a referee, so who knows what's going to happen. But I think that's something that they both want at some point. It is funny that it just came right when we were like, oh, look, not all these teams are splitting anymore. Look at the Usos as example. Yeah. Let's just highlight that short video, and then, oh, look, boom, they split. And you're like, oh. Well, Bobby Bonilla is coming in and saying, Taylor Rising, Nicole Matthews, Alexia Nicole, and Casey Spinelli. Very good options.
Very much.
Very. So
the scene is thriving.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we can just drop 15, 20 female wrestlers like that right now, I think that says a lot about the female division in Canada. And there we go. We got that. See, WWE, there is opportunity to have women wrestle on your shows. Just saying. But no, I have a thing. You know how sometimes before WrestleMania we get a really interesting championship match at the Royal Rumble per se?
Yeah.
No, bastard.
Yeah.
No.
Funny, but no.
Funny, yes, but no. But what if after, say, Survivor Series, say maybe LA Knight and The Miz have their match. LA Knight picks up that win, right? Shows that, you know, he is on The Miz's level, like whatever. What if that's when we see for the first time ever LA Knight encountering Roman Reigns, and we get a Roman Reigns versus LA Knight match on the main event of the Royal Rumble? I'm not saying put the title on LA Knight, but give him that opportunity to be a big time player in a main event of a very, very big PLE. Because I think we all know he's not going to win the Rumble. I think we all think that's Gunther's territory right now. And if that's the case, why even put LA Knight in a position of that loss? Put him in a loss where it matters. Put him in the main event of the Royal Rumble with your biggest box office draw. That way you can bring those fans to a higher level. You're giving him that platform, but also at the same time you're extending Roman's length as his champion, and you're doing it in a way where people are caring about it.
Now, I mean, you say that we're certain it's Gunther's territory, and I agree with you. I'm not saying it's not, but keep it in mind too that with 2 world championships, essentially 3 if you count NXT in place, you could change direction of the winner, because you can still get to Gunther main eventing a championship matchup at WrestleMania without him winning the Royal Rumble based on his accolades alone, where you could have LA Knight win it and challenge the other champion very easily as well too. So I mean, there is that what if factor in place that they could change, you know, the direction if they wanted to. But I do see where you're going with the championship matchup, him encountering Roman. I would also, I mean, if they went that direction, I would tread lightly, where you almost kind of want LA Knight to be the babyface that fights from underneath, looks like he's got the victory, possibly does have the victory, but in typical Roman fashion, referee bump, overstuff the ending, Roman wins by cheating, protects LA Knight's image, and Roman remains champion, which everyone's going to see coming from a mile away. That's the biggest, I guess, knock against it, is you'll know the expected outcome if that's at the Royal Rumble.
With a lot of Roman Reigns' title matches, I think that we know Roman's not losing, unless it was, in my opinion, there are only 3 times we thought, okay, he could lose here. And that was Drew at Clash of the Castle. That was Sammy at the Elimination Chamber. And then there was Cody at WrestleMania, which that one was probably the more everyone would bet their house on that's when the title was being changed. Outside of that, like, I think every other Roman Reigns championship match has been somewhat, I don't want to say predictable, but you're aware that, you know, he most likely is not losing the championship at that point. However, I do look at the opportunity at a main event on a giant PLE as an opportunity that, okay, this is the company saying, yeah, you know what? We want to put you in here. We have faith in you. And I'm seeing the beginning of that post SummerSlam push for LA Knight. If you saw that promo with The Miz, that was one of the biggest takeaways off that show. That was great television. That was a great moment, but it also gave you a moment in LA Knight that, okay, you're good, but you still have room to grow here. Like, you still have another level you can get to, and The Miz could help, or could be the guy that gets you there. And then once you get there, okay, now let's test you out. Let's put you out against one of our big draws. Not to mention, who would not want to see a promo battle between LA Knight and Paul Heyman leading into the Rumble at some point?
I mean, there's a lot of combinations of people you'd love to see LA Knight in a vocal battle within WWE. I mean, there's just great opportunity. And yeah, Paul Heyman being one of them. When somebody's got a mouth on them and you know they can talk, you know that you've got something golden. It helps to carry what you're going into for that feud, for that wrestling match, for that particular card and everything like that. So it's great that when you've got somebody the caliber of I want to say Eli Drake, LA Knight, going out there and being able to do what he does.
Dummy. Yeah.
When they put him against someone like The Miz or a Paul Heyman or anything that he can feed off of, then it works brilliantly. Or if he has somebody that he can take jabs at and it works as well too. Like, for example, when he's taking jabs at someone like a Logan Paul and it gets over big time, especially with the comments that he's making at him about directions to where he can stick the prime bottles.
Hey, he had a map. He was prepared.
He was.
Christopher Columbus never had a map. I'm just saying. Just saying. Preparation is the biggest it's the biggest thing you need going into a situation. Yeah, LA Knight and AJ Styles, thank you, because we were going into a different direction, Bobby. Appreciate that.
But yeah, Knight versus Styles would be interesting to see, because I mean they've got that history there too. I mean, both former Impact Wrestling members that are now crossing path. I mean, AJ Styles has been, one of the big names to come out of Impact Wrestling and come into WWE, making himself a top player in the company. Now LA Knight kind of taking that thunder. So it'll be an interesting, intriguing story that they could build there. And of course, AJ Styles on the in-ring side of it and working a top spot would be a fantastic guy, in my opinion, to work with LA Knight, because AJ is near immaculate in everything he does inside the ring.
Yeah. My only thing is they're both baby faces at this point. Does that mean we're going to see AJ go heel? Because there's no way you want to just slice out the popularity of LA Knight right now. I think you got to keep that escalating. And I think maybe that's maybe a down the road matchup to allow the fans to kind of have that choice that LA Knight's your guy. Because right now, I don't think you touch LA Knight with AJ Styles if AJ Styles is a babyface. There's too many people that just can't cheer against AJ at this point.
No, AJ's done too much for the business to have anyone going against him in that sense. But again, as LA Knight begins to get bigger, because keep in mind that LA Knight be babyface, but he hasn't changed up the gimmick to what he was doing as a heel. He just changed who he was doing it against. And that's the difference maker. So even in that sense of it, the idea that AJ Styles wants to, get in the ring with LA Knight because it's like, hey, this guy who I know from my past is, now kind of taking that spotlight. He's trying to lead the way. Well, maybe he should have to go through me to prove that he's at that level, kind of thing. It could build itself, but I do believe you're right in the saying that not yet. Like they still have to pull that trigger a little bit further with LA Knight, and then they could ignite this as an opportunity with both still being baby faces, because LA Knight's shtick, let's face it, it's heelish, but it's heelish towards whoever his opponent is.
And that's where I think the comparable to The Rock was always coming from, because The Rock was very comparable in the same way that his shtick was making fun of everyone that came through his path. And that's not necessarily the most clean-cut babyfacious way, but at the same time, it was entertaining. And why aren't the baby faces allowed to make fun of the heels, people? Come on, think about it. It's like math. What you see on one side, you must do to the other, right? It's fair game.
It's simple psychology in a sense too, because essentially, as a baby face, you're against the people that the fans are supposed to dislike. So if the fans dislike them, if you take a look at it, take a step back and go, as a fan, what would I say about this SOB in the middle of the ring? And that kind of can build your promo and build yourself as like, this is what I'm going to say to this guy. And that's what the people want to hear me say to this guy, because the people are on my side now. We're going to let this guy have it. You don't want to completely undermine your heel and start making them look like a big sissy or anything like that. But there's no reason you can't be a smartass towards a heel opponent.
It's why, anytime people ask me what always drew me about wrestling, and I always say, well, I like the storytelling. I like the character development. I like kind of that background story. As we see Barry Monkey coming in saying, I'd like to see younger talent getting big pushes, not people in their 40s Yeah, yeah, but the reason why the people in their 40s are being pushed is because they do the job better at some point. It's very rare to see your Austin Theories or your Dominic Mysterios or your Rhea Ripley's come up.
When
I
they
do
figured out
agree.
the formula, that's the thing. He figured
Yeah.
out the formula, and they had no choice. I don't think the push would have existed if it weren't for the work he put in himself.
Yeah, but I don't disagree with what Barry's saying, because you do want to see that
Yeah.
opportunity with the next generation, because you want to see something different. You want to see something fresh. One of the big problems is, like, and we saw it with John Cena too. Like, when he tried to do the Thugonomics thing, it worked, but it also had a shelf life on how it worked. He couldn't sustain doing that for 20 years, right? But he turns into the hustle, loyalty, respect John Cena. That has a longer shelf life. That gives him a sustained level where you can do it every night, not get stale. You can keep it going. Did we get tired of the shtick? Sure. Did we want him to turn heel sometimes? Yes. But now he stays the course, and guess what? Every time he comes in, we go nuts, because it's somebody that over time we have come and learned to appreciate the work that he's done. So, sometimes it's hard to say, because it's all, like you said, it's all about figuring out that formula. And I go back and say, like, if people, like, I talk to, they're like, what drew you to wrestling? I tell them, like, well, take this. Take the fact that you have three simple characters, and you like, as soon as I say them, you have an instant, yeah, kind of like, you have an instant emotion. You have God, you have the devil, and you have Hitler, right? Those are your three characters. Hypothetically, like, and right away, you're God against the devil, right? That's your number one feud. But all of a sudden, you have Hitler in the background. And then he's like, you know what? This isn't about me. I wanted to make it about me. But in order to do it, I have to help one of these guys. Now, I can make it easy, help the devil, but now I'm sharing the spotlight. Now, Hitler's ego might not allow him to do that. So he helps God defeat the devil, because he's taken out one of his competitors, right? Now, all of a sudden, you think a little bit better about that. But then he backstabs God. So then you hate him a little bit more than the devil. And then now you have a little bit of sympathy for the devil, because he got screwed over. And then all of a sudden, your emotional your emotional response and how you think of people are being waived because of simple storylines and just connecting the dots. And I'm like, that in its essence, why I like wrestling, because you can just take it that way. Once you get that emotional level and investment into somebody, then you can toy with the emotional waves. Then, to me, that's the beauty of professional wrestling in my eyes.
Yeah, and to Barry's point too, like, I 100% agree. Younger talent would be great, but there's time that they need to develop them and everything, and they need to catch on. Not every, like Parrish was saying, not every young talent catches it quick, and that's the issue, kind of thing. And if they don't catch it quickly, it's hard to push them to that same organic level. I mean, you could try to shove them down people's throats, but we know how that can turn on people quite nastily. I mean, look what happened with trying to push Roman when the fans didn't want that anymore. At that point, it was a long, slippery slope, but that they had to commit to in order to make it happen. And it took a long time before it truly organically happened and people were okay with it. And again, looking at the crop of talent, it's not like the talent isn't there and that there isn't potential in everybody, but they aren't at that level of mental thinking that gets them to that main event spot, with somebody, say, like an LA Knight who's been doing this for a long time, a Damian Priest who's been doing this for a long time, people that have had those opportunities to really flesh out what they're doing and learn the business, and are kind of at that level where it's like, okay, they can pull the trigger on them now while they in the background start working on the younger people so that they can get to the point of being able to make them the next level stars. Hopefully that's what we're looking for.
And it was just weird. I just watched the Cody Rhodes documentary, and the same thing happened with him. He comes in very fresh, very young, but he has no idea who he was, right? And then it took him a while to find out his true identity. Until he found that out, that's when we get the American Nightmare we know today. And it takes a lot. Like, you have, like, one of the best quotes I ever heard was, I think it was Sean Spears. And he said, nobody should know what they want to do with their life in their 20s. The 20s is to find out what you don't want. The 30s are to find out what you do want. So by the time you're 40, you know who you are. And it was one of the best quotes I think I've ever heard in my life, because that just showed, in essence, life is about the journey. And it's about that. And the journey is to find out eventually who you're going to be. And it doesn't matter when. It just matters if you get there and you do it in the right way.
You bet. And speaking of journeys, Parrish, I think this is a great way to segue. We take quite the journey here at our local establishment with a lot of the great content that we have coming out from the many great people that you see on screen. So we're going to take you to, that's right, baby, the weekly calendar. That's the weekly calendar, what we got coming up, and you'll see that there's a brand new show listed there this coming Friday. It is going to be a pre-recorded show hosted by myself and Carl Carafell called Got the Pod Life. We're going to be talking about all our favorites in music, so stay tuned for that new show coming out here at our local establishment.
And as Barry was talking about, he wants to see somebody younger and not the 40-year-olds. I think that's just the perfect segue to ask people, was Rey Mysterio the right man to dethrone Austin Theory as U.S. champion? As we saw on SmackDown, that Rey Mysterio, live from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, became the new United States champion. As throughout the entirety of the show, Austin Theory was set to face Santos Escobar, but attacked him, only to find out, okay, he's still good to go. They're going to continue with the match, only for when Santos comes out of the ring, he gets attacked again. The level of boos for Austin Theory were there, but then all of a sudden, Adam Pearce saying, no, we advertised a U.S. title match, and I'm going to give you a title match, or give the fans a title match. Austin Theory, you're defending against Rey Mysterio, and by means, he was not prepared for Rey Mysterio. He was not expecting the master of the 619, and guess what? The Masked Luchador, the Hall of Famer, the greatest mask of all time, became the new United States champion. I think I did a great job selling that, by the way.
You did a great job selling it, unlike the WWE, in my opinion, because I think this was the wrong move, in my honest opinion. I love Rey Mysterio. And like when you say greatest masked luchador of all time, I don't disagree with you at all. I think his body of work speaks for itself. I think this was the wrong decision because, again, talking about what Barry Monkey said with building new stars, Rey doesn't need any title to do anything to make himself a bigger star. And I think this is almost like detrimental to the championship and to the storyline that could be told. You've already said that Austin Theory came out with those attacks on Santos Escobar, getting the boos. Now, okay, I get it. Make this matchup happen, but this was your opportunity to have Austin Theory cheat Rey Mysterio or get himself intentionally disqualified, continue getting that level of heat, and then work towards Santos Escobar being the guy. If that's the direction you want to go, then Santos Escobar should have been the one to dethrone Austin Theory, which would have been a lot more impactful considering the way they built this.
Yeah, and I'm very curious on what kind of the long game would have been. Because And then we have Bobby coming in saying, I thought Santos was going to be the one to beat Austin Theory. And then we have Astor coming in. I would have loved Santos winning with the injury. The only problem I have with the injury is that really craps on the person that he's beating. And it depends. And the match we had with Santos and Ray with Theory and Ray, very quick. So, like, to me, that's why I was even more shocked that he lost the title. But at the same time, I agree. Santos Escobar should have won the championship.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And keeping in mind, too, that this is Austin Theory, the same guy who beat John Cena at WrestleMania. Whether you love that match or not, they put him over one of the company's all-time best stars. And yes, Rey Mysterio is in that kind of category, but to have him quickly mop the floor with Austin Theory on SmackDown and take that title away kind of undoes what you were doing with Austin Theory. And I think that the story being told could still be told without having to switch the title. This was the opportunity to keep pushing Austin Theory as that arrogant, smackable heel until the time was right. Like, say, okay, Santos working with an injury. Okay, maybe you have that matchup have Austin Theory beat Santos because Santos can't quite get the job done being injured. Then you have Theory. He can continue to start bragging about it, how he beat him. When Santos is 100% ready, this is the time where he can come out and say, look, you beat me while I wasn't 100%. Let's do this one more time. Then you can have that babyface victory when he finally beats the heelish, devilish champion in Austin Theory.
I'm curious if they're going a completely different direction here. And I say this I wonder if we're going to see some internal beef between Santos and Ray. I hope not. I want to see the LWO become a lot more of a group. I would have loved to see some sort of interaction with the LWO and the Bloodline before the explosion of the Bloodline. I thought that would have been cool. Even give me war games between the two factions if that was potential. But I understand it. Why you go somewhere else. I'm just very confused on why Santos wasn't that person. I'm also surprised to say that, okay, if you didn't want Santos Escobar winning the U.S. title, why was Rey Mysterio the selection? Why wasn't, say, LA Knight? Why wasn't AJ Styles? Why weren't Karrion Kross? Why wasn't another person your choice? I'm curious to know that aspect. I do.
An upcoming Grayson Waller would be another great option for the U.S. title picture.
Hell, I would even have chosen Edge because we all know that, like, and this is where I'm going to go with Edge. The one thing that I do have faith with Rey Mysterio is that he's okay to be a transitional champion. Just like if they were to do it with Edge, I know that they're able to transition that title properly to somebody else, maybe better than Austin Theory could, to the person that does need it, and that loss doesn't really affect them. I think a loss to Austin Theory affects Austin Theory more than a loss to Ray or Edge. They can shake that loss off and be just fine. Their entrance alone brings them back. Austin Theory, though, you don't want him to waver. That's going to be the dangerous thing with his momentum. But at the same time, I'm curious to see where this is going to go. Like, does Austin Theory do something completely different here? I don't know. I'm just really like, now I'm just wondering. And that's why the first part, was he the right man? Because I think that's time will tell.
Morning, Lauren.
And ended up back.
Welcome back to Bustin' Out.
But Barry Monkey saying if the LWO turn on Ray, they could have Dominic with a face turn, defending his dad. Or Dominic could steal the NWO from his dad.
Oh yeah, Dominic. Can you imagine Dominic goes his entire career without having to be in a faction? Just like the wussiest wrestler of all time. Like, if I don't have people behind me, I can't get a victory. Sorry to interrupt, but Bobby, I'm currently trying to recreate the grilled cheese from Two Friends. So last Friday when we were out at the wrestling show, we ended up at this Meltwich company afterwards, and they make grilled cheese sandwiches. And so the sandwich in particular that Basser is talking about would be, it's on sourdough bread. It's got macaroni and cheese, plus then the cheese from the grilled cheese in it, and sriracha sauce, all packed in there.
This sounds a lot better than your butter and bread.
Hey, no. See, you're not selling that one properly. A chip buddy, the butter bread with French fries and ketchup.
This sounds way better than whatever that is.
I'm gonna create a grilled cheese version of the chip buddy just for you to try, Parrish.
You really like the look of vomit, don't you? Like, you want the vomit to bust out.
There we go. I should create that for the tailgate watch along party.
Give that to Papa Smokes.
Yeah.
Here you go. You got
this one, pal.
You got the Munson's version of Chip Buddy here.
Yeah, the grilled cheese.
This will do more damage than heroin to a rock star in the 80s.
See, Barry, I am not. This is the thing. This is great because Barry can actually back me up here. I have been getting slack.
Is it Chip Buddy or Chip Butty?
Buddy, like butter, butty. Not like
you guys couldn't come up with a better name for this.
Barry, I've been getting shit on ever since Christmas Day on the Christmas.
Of course, you're getting shit on. It has the word butt in it.
Carl just about vomited when I explained this on Christmas Day. He had to leave the stream temporarily. He was so disgusted by the idea of a chip buddy, and I was my back was against the wall, and it's been brought up every single time. But I'm telling you, I'm going to bring it forth. I'm going to make that grilled cheese chip buddy sandwich for on stream on the watch along tailgate party. I swear I'm doing it. Look, we got Bobby rolling in laughter.
You're gonna have like diarrhea that day, I swear to God.
I'm probably gonna have a heart attack.
It's gonna be the one time you get diarrhea, and I'm gonna just be there like laughing at you, like on Dumb and Dumber, where he just has that. And he's like, oh, and then like you just see like the lights of like Lloyd Christmas laughing. Yeah,
but see, you gotta understand. Like I go for top-notch qualities. Like, this is gonna be like fresh cut potatoes made by myself, top quality bread. It's all gonna be done fancy. Top quality cheeses. Just, yeah, it's gonna be like fine cuisine.
Quality cheese.
Fine cuisine in sandwich form. That's right. It is the national food of Great Britain. I come from an English family, so I know all about it, and this is what I've been explaining, Barry, but nobody ever understands here in Canada. Nobody understands.
I mean, it's bad enough we have to try to sell, like we're trying to sell poutine to Americans, and that's the hardest thing because we're like, hey, look, here's a greasy food that like is great, but it'll make you fat. And they're just like, we don't get it. But we have like 5 billion cereals in our convenience stores over at Walgreens. But yeah, this I can't get behind. No.
Don't knock until you try it.
Oh, I'm knocking it, and I'm not trying it. Don't you worry.
Oh, I swear, I'm gonna make the biggest chip buddy sandwich for the third.
Oh, you can. I'm not gonna eat it. Okay.
Well, it would be kind of tough for me to like mail it one probably like the next day it gets there and it's like, well, what the hell is this?
Speaking of a Great Britain English national treasure, though, Nigel McGuinness is reporting preparing for an in-ring return with AEW. Dude, I'm getting good at these.
Yeah. As Barry mentioned, it was better when Britain ran Canada. They become too American now. Yeah.
I mean,
and yeah,
I want your queen off my fucking money. I'm just gonna put it out.
She's still there.
I have no problem with the British heritage we have. In fact, I respect the heritage. The chip buddy though can go F itself. You know that duck too? There you go. You can duck to and not come back. But I like to see that happens and he wrestles against Bryan Danielson. Thank you, Bobby, for staying on topic. Not going back to this fucking food idea.
I'd like to see what happens when Bryan Danielson wrestles a chip buddy.
No, I mean, if anybody can make something good in him, but I don't know if Bryan Danielson is that good.
Oh man, I'm taking this completely off the rails. Anyway, yeah, that would be good. What a match that would be. Nigel McGuinness versus Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, that's why I want her off my money.
She's alive and well on the
Terry
Canadian
on my
print.
money. The guy ran across our country with one leg because he had cancer. And guess what? Even at that point, he still wouldn't eat the chip butty.
You don't know this. Were you a close personal friend to Terry Fox? You know what he dined on while he was running?
Yes.
Maybe that carried him through. All those extra carbs, starches.
No.
Just made him a Superman.
It was a rogue energy. That's what it was. All right. But Nigel McGuinness in-ring return. That would be.
All I see there is Guinness, and I want to drink.
Well, you can have one of those after your chip, buddy.
That sounds delighttful.
Yeah, it might actually put taste back in your mouth.
Oh, hilarious. You're so funny. But a tasteful decision would be having Nigel McGuinness do in-ring return for your company over at AEW. I like McGuinness. I think he's a good talker. He's a good wrestler from the things I've seen. I think that he could be used in decent matchups here within AEW. There is a lot to be said about that. I'd be curious, is this going to be a in-ring return that happens in time to make the show in London, or is this going to be something that's past that?
Well, to Bobby's point, though, if a return match him and Bryan Danielson is that definitely won't be in London. I would actually like to see the announcement in London. I think that would be cool. I don't know if I'm very, very much agreed. I'm bummed that he couldn't wrestle in WWE. I thought it was a travesty that couldn't happen. But at the same time, I mean, I know we're getting a great story of Saraya wrestling in her hometown, I think for the first time in like 7 or 8 years, her home country. That is, which I think is awesome because I know her story. If Nigel had an opportunity to wrestle in his home country, that would be a great story as well. I think a lot of people, if you don't know his story, please go and check out the documentaries that have been put out. I definitely recommend it. This guy is, when he was in Ring of Honor and he was their pure champion before he was the champion, he was probably the best in-ring worker at that time. And I think a dream match of Nigel McGuinness, Kurt Angle was being thrown around like good food. Not the chip buddy, but good food.
This is going to be an ongoing thing.
It probably is. It's like Ed's love for Jay White. You know, it's going to be a thing.
It's infectious.
Yeah. But and then Bob coming in. It's great that Saraya is in wrestling in her home country. It really is. And that's where, you know, I'm really hoping that there's something like that because I do feel Nigel McGuinness he was one of my favorite British wrestlers beside William Regal. So I would love it if he came back because I think a lot of people can learn about that. And in fact, I think it would be really cool if Nigel and Zack Sabre Jr. had a technical match. I'm not the biggest fan of Zack Sabre Jr., but I do respect how great he is in the technical field. I just think that's really all he's good at. But I'd love to see that technical match. I'm a big fan of technical wrestling.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of technical wrestling as well too. I've made that pretty clear. So yeah, I'd be up for that for sure. 100%.
I don't think it's I'll say this. I don't think it's anything. Actually, I'm very curious what's in the water of Britain because I think right now Britain has some of the best pro wrestlers out there. Even like the United Kingdom at the very least, because you look at like the Rhea Ripley. I know she's not Britain, Australian, but she's, I think, the benchmark of women's wrestlers right now in the world. I look at people like Will Ospreay, who's doing some of the best work he's ever done. You look at Nigel McGuinness, that when he was wrestling, not a lot of people were better than him. And then you're seeing a lot of the plethora of the UK wrestlers today. Like you have Gunther, you have Buddy Matthews. Buddy Matthews. Like, and then you have like so many good, like so many great people coming out of that United Kingdom area. Although I don't know if when you were watching NXT UK, was it a little weird? Like, although Ilya Dragunov, nobody's going to say a negative word about him. I just never thought Russia was part of the UK.
Well, I mean, they are a European country, so yeah. I mean, I guess they probably would fall into that. So yeah, like that's part of the European nation. So
yeah, it's just weird to think.
But yeah, I mean, it's funny when you say a lot of these names too. And I was talking to my wife about it the other day. Like it's interesting to see all the people at the top of a lot of the number one wrestling companies in the world right now, because when I started doing some of the writing that I did, I was watching and reviewing stuff out of Australia, out of Germany. So I was watching matches with Walter at the time. Ilya Dragunov, you had Rhea Ripley coming up. You had over in some of the Australian side, of course, Maddie Wahlberg, who would become Grayson Waller, amongst other various names and other names too that could really be making an impact over here at any given time if they were picked up and given that opportunity. There's just so much great talent that I think we don't get exposed to, and that are going to try that much harder because, they want to be able to travel the world and get out there. So that, Jazzy Gabbert, I believe it's pronounced there. Carl, sorry if I didn't pronounce that correctly, but a good friend of Carl's.
You're welcome, Carl. Good to see you.
Hi, Carl. But yeah, just a plethora of talent all over the world in various different countries that, the North American crowd isn't necessarily exposed to. So when they come over here, it's, bringing a new depth of flavor to the North American market.
Yeah. And Bobby's asking, do you think Zack Sabre Jr., do you think we'll see him wrestle at All In? Maybe.
I'll never say never with AEW, because who knows? Right? I mean, that's the easiest way to put it. They could pull the trigger. Like outside of contracted WWE people, I believe anybody is fair game to wrestle at AEW at any given time.
Ava Lawless is Canadian, bro. Just so you know. She is from and lives in Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Really? Because AEW said she was from Saskatoon when she was here.
Yeah. Well, huge announcement.
Oh, my kayfabe world is dead.
But yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, I would love to see Nigel McGuinness join Aussie Open, to be quite honest. I'd like him to do some with and even do some with that United Nation group that I think it was. No, it's not United Nations, is it? The Will Ospreay group?
United Empire.
United Empire, yeah, there we go. Thank you. I'd like him to join that. I think that'd be cool, to be quite honest. I don't know, but I want to see heel Nigel. I don't want to see babyface Nigel. Heel Nigel is just always better.
He's such a badass. As Chris mentioned again, at this point, everyone outside of WWE may as well be all elite. Because they're a lot more open about it. That's the thing. WWE, it's a closed contract. You're not going to be able to have that crossover, where with everybody else, really, there's nothing tying you down that you can't work for somebody else. So that's the easiest thing, is when AEW wants to make an impact in a big way, they can bring in a name they know is going to go over with not only their niche audience, but with the niche audience that follows that particular wrestler at the company that they wrestle for currently.
Bear Monkey saying Zack Sabre Jr. is wrestling at Impact's Multiverse event the week before All In. Or the week before All In, yeah.
He's in town.
But if that's the week before, that means he's available.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't know. And it's
awesome.
That's
awesome. Impact's doing that over there as well too. Like the week before, there's so much wrestling within like a short span of time.
Yeah, and that's something I think. Again, like I know we hammer it down, but we're just always proving how much content there really is for professional wrestling. It doesn't matter where in the world you are.
Oh, look who's up there. It's
It's
Andre.
me. It's me. It's the ANDRE. It's Andre. How you doing, my friend?
And add a C on top of that.
Yeah. We see you. We see you.
We see you.
But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because the one nice thing with all, like, if you're outside of WWE, what you get to see is basically like your fantasy wrestling come to life in a way. You get to see all that stuff. And then what you see inside WWE is kind of like your internal, like I'd like to always say, like, WWE is your Marvel in a way, right? Like it's its own world and everything just happens within their own world there. And you know what you get. And sometimes over time it phases out and you get bored of it. Just like I think for some people with some of those Marvel movies. But then you go outside of the world of Marvel and you go into the other areas. I feel that's kind of the wrestling scene in a way.
Andre saying he's doing good, just taking a break from G1 watching. That's, Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk. Go check them out on YouTube over there. Give them a subscribe. Find out anything about Japanese wrestling, including New Japan Pro Wrestling Stardom that we were talking about earlier in the program as well, too. Andre and Melball do a phenomenal job. And again, a lot of commitment to that because, again, like a lot of those tournaments and everything they got going on over in Japan will be very much time consuming. And it's a lot of content to not only be able to watch, but then to go and do great reviews like Andre and Mel do.
Yeah. Andre, from a level of 1 to fuck, how disappointed were you to hear that Kairi Singh is going back to WWE and leaving Stardom?
This will be interesting.
Mm-hmm. And I gave him a different rate scale, 1 to.
I noticed that. Very clever.
Yeah. I think it's funny, but it'll be funny if we just get like a,
all of a sudden it's like Andre has left the chat.
Yeah. We'll get a thing. Do you want to ban Andre? I'm like, no, we'll allow it. Kind of asked for it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, 1, she's barely been in Star. Okay, not more. Okay. This is where Andre's getting like, okay, he has a lot to say.
Yeah, there's gonna be a whole list.
There's so much more points to this, I'm going to assume. But 1, she's barely been in Stardom.
There we go.
We'll find out what the other ones are. I'm sure.
Either that or that was the rating. It was the rating of 1 because she's barely been in Stardom.
Potentially. We'll find out. We'll find out if there's a second point or if it's just. My cat just saw you guys on TV and now she's in her usually watching the show.
Kitty vision right here. Hi, cat.
It was rating of 1.
Yeah.
Well, that means 1 being the happiest. So yeah, you have to be happy then. So okay, interesting.
He's happy for her.
Exactly. She's gone. Don't you come back no more. No.
Yeah, Chris Best cat came back the very next show.
Yeah. The cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon.
Oh, Sundays are fun.
Watching the Bus Brothers on the YouTube. Yeah.
It's on the Twitch side of things. Look at that.
I know, but it doesn't rhyme. All right. Give me the rhyme. All right.
Oh yeah, because we're all
like
about
music
that.
nowadays where there's no
rhyme.
rhyming. Yeah, it's all about the rhyme.
Rhyme time. I'm busting out.
Yeah, imagine if you got the. Oh, you couldn't be crime time in the WWE. You go to the Indies. What are you? Or rhyme time.
Just a couple of goofs and Dr. Seuss hats.
Yeah. Little boy Skittles watching you on the tube. LOL.
Hi, Skittles.
It's all about the kitty tube or cat tube.
Cat tube.
I don't want to go anywhere further than that. I said what I said. Moving on.
With that being said,
0 calories. Yum.
black coffee has
But
0 calories too.
what else you got?
I don't know. Is there anything else?
Any colored coffee is fine. I'm not going to judge.
Okay then. Okay.
Yeah, the one thing I did want to ask everyone is Ricochet did something I thought was really cool. Something you don't really see anymore in wrestling, but he flat out asked Booker T if he could take and start using the axe kick, which Booker T said yes, do it, but make it your own and make sure you hit a home run with it. I thought that was really cool. I say this because it is a thing where I see a lot of people use other people's moves, whether it's out of respect, it's out of, like inspiration, whatever the case may be. But very little do you actually hear a public request from someone asking if they can use their move. Usually it's either done private or it's not done at all. What did you make out of that? Because like Bobby Bonino says, I think it's great, and I'm very curious to see what that is going to do for Ricochet moving forward.
Yeah, and I mean, I share the same sentiment as Bobby there. I think it's great as well too. Not saying he can't. There's a lot of moves where it's like some of them are so common that yeah, of course you're not going to ask anyone in particular. But if there is something that stands out as a major signature of somebody's career inside the ring and paying homage or not, it's always nice to be able to ask if you're able to. I mean, and that's what Ricochet did, and I think I share that sentiment. It is great that he asked, and then you get that response. It's a positive response. Make it your own, make it kick ass, and awesome. Because then you really essentially now Booker T is giving that rub to Ricochet. So when people see it, they'll know it's an homage, but at the same time approved by the guy who he's paying homage to.
I just hope we don't see Ricochet do the spinneroonie after.
That's fair. That's fair. That's why you say when he says make it your own, don't follow it up with more. Yeah.
Well, it's not like you can do that. He never won a title 5 times. Sorry, Ricochet. Just saying. Maybe a 5-star match. I don't know. Dave Meltzer. Who knows with him? Never gave Kurt Angle one, so who knows if he gave Ricochet. Although I did think he gave him.
He doesn't
an
give
Ospreay
5-star
one.
matches to any of these people because he can give them 4 3/4.
Yeah, I'll give you a 4.42 squirrel stars out of whatever the fuck I want. Seems like. I don't know.
I give Dave's rating system a 0.21 out of 5.
Yeah. I give it a blue shell out of 5 because you have to work to get stars, all right? Mario.
Thanks, bro. That's bro.
Thank you, man. I thought it was pretty good. Man, did you know?
I agree with you, Monkey. The Berry Monkey, that it would have been hilarious if that would have been flat out the answer. Just publicly, Booker T gets out there is like, no, fuck right off. But you ain't touching it. If you do, I'm going to slap you silly.
It's like, how about you don't do it? And can you take that, sucker?
Or is that, how about no?
Yeah. How about no? Ducky, ducky, quack, quack, biatch. Yeah, that is funny, actually.
Now I'm rethinking this whole thing. Do I think it's great anymore, or do I think the Berry Monkey's onto something?
I mean,
can you imagine just every wrestler in history denies people so you can't even do anything in the ring? Just stand there like here's the big matchup of the card. It is a stare-off between Wrestler 1 and Wrestler 2.
Yeah,
we stand there the longest with their eyes open.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I got told no from generic Wrestler 1 that I couldn't do a lock. What a name, too. Generic Wrestler number 1.
There's Here's a creative wrestler for you. And
it's just like that initial create wrestler where you don't do anything. He just has like the blandest stare on his face. He's bald. Has to be bald. Like looks absolutely
and does everything that somebody else did before him.
Yeah. He just stands there like a good soldier.
Yeah. Can you imagine that on Wrestle Draft? Just like, okay, we're gonna have the stare off matchup and just a generic wrestler one standing like this. Ed would be losing it because it's getting late at night. Oh, when's it gonna end?
We got an Iron Man match of both of them, and he's like, "Come on!"
Oh, poor Ed. It's so late night when you guys do Wrestle Draft.
Well, no, it is when you decide to book yourself in like multiple shows in the same day. Chris Best is saying, I did make that on WWE Warzone and PS1. He won the WWF title. Who did he beat? I'm curious now.
That was back in WWF Warzone yet, too.
I know.
That's going way deep on that one.
The game was not fun. It was interesting, but it was not fun. But yeah, you know what is fun, Bobby?
What's fun?
Rating people.
Rating people is fun.
Nearing the end.
It is a nice thing. Especially when you know that matchup was against Goldust. Generic Wrestler 1 versus Goldust.
Never forget the name of Generic Wrestler number 1.
Okay, we should fucking rate somebody.
Yeah, that was too good.
Yeah, mic drop. We're done. That's it. Let's go. Where's that raid?
Yeah, who are we gonna rate today?
Good question. If anyone has any suggestions while we're looking, let us know. But we are going to have a look here to see who we're gonna raid. So if you are joining us on the Twitch side, we very much encourage you to stick with us for a little bit longer so that we can get that raid out and show someone a good old LE. Welcome. Who do you got? Who do you got?
I got a new one. Before I do that, I'm going to go over there and
we'll give you the breaking news next week, Barry. Sorry. I'll let you guys know next week. I got to set up a breaking news video for it. Sorry. But,
that is so good. Oh, that is so good. Make them wait only to say we're not doing it. Oh, that is hilarious. Gonna go and raid Triple Threat Pod.
Sounds like a plan there. Triple Threat Pod is going to get our Twitch raid and cliffhangers is right, Chris Best. In the meantime and in between time, like we always say, let's get the socials up there. That's where you can find me. I am Bobby Munson. Of course, check me out on all the socials. Check me out over on my personal Twitch channel where you'll see me doing some drunken video game streams at times. And who knows what might happen. I might have some more coming out for you guys very, very shortly. You're going to be able to catch me in a couple of capacities this coming week up. Of course, Thursday night with Papa Smokes. What's that? Oh,
we're not going to raid. They just went offline.
Well, we'll find someone else. Pop Smokes and I will be bringing you Ring Respect Radio on Thursday night. And, of course, the pre-recorded show, Got the Pod Life with myself and Carl Karafel coming at you on Friday. That is going to be a show talking all about our favorites in music. It's going to be themed about different people each time. It's not going to be a weekly show, maybe more of a monthly type thing, but we are going to be bringing the very first official one coming to you this Friday. And then, of course, next Sunday, with my Brunch Buster brother right there beside me, Chris Parrish, as we bring you episode 53 of the wonderful show known as Busting Out. With that said, Parrish, I'm trying to find we are on the wrong channel for giving out the banners here. Head on over to that one there, and I will see there. I even have my wrong one up there because there's where you can actually find me as it's updated in the proper channel.
Busting Out section. It's updated.
Buttons are still difficult, man. Come on. Anyway, there's Parrish's information. I'm going to put it over to him before I screw things up even more.
You can follow me on all my socials over at the Twitter at Chris Parrish, my Twitch at the Chris Parrish. I'm on the Threads and Instagram at Chris.Parrish. I'm on kick.com/Chris Parrish. And I'm also on the YouTube at Chris Parrish. You can also find Nico Vibes here on the raid that is upcoming. Nice. I'm going to slide that one in, but you can also see me every Wednesday over here on our local establishment with Wrestle Draft at about 10 p.m. Eastern. You can see me every Monday in the Monday Night Watch along with the Golden Standard Carl Carafel, the one-man dynamic OMD, and CBRS Entertainment there in the chat, Chris Best. And then every Sunday, 12:15 Eastern, again, episode 53, busting out with Bobby Munson. And you should be checking out Nico Vibes as we speak now. But for everybody in the chat here at YouTube, thank you. Hit that thumbs up. We appreciate you. And yeah, Bobby, if we are the ones busting out, what are everybody else doing?
What's everybody else doing? They're waiting until next week because in the meantime and in between time, you've been busted.